Start. Yeah. Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn. Welcome to EMJ Academy. Today we are going to learn three important topics. One is in last sessions what we discussed about the basics, the basics of .NET framework. What is C Sharp basics basics program, and so just we started that the how framework it would be, how the program would be. So now today we have main three important topics we are going to discuss today. One is first is features of C Sharp, and second is features of CLR in .NET framework, and third is we will go the sample programs, and third important is let's start C sharp data types. That is the third important one. So let's start the first one, features of C sharp. So yesterday or last classes what we discussed, just the brief about what is C sharp and all. So now I am going to show you what is the features of C sharp, why we need a C sharp, why we need to learn a C sharp. So let's have a notes on C sharp. Yeah, not this thing. C sharp features. Okay, so why need to learn C sharp language? The following the reasons make a C sharp widely used a professional language. First is it is a modern general purpose languages. Second is it is an object oriented programming. So C sharp basically it's a object oriented programming. In coming days, I will show you. We will go through the object oriented programming in detail. So the main idea of the main features of C sharp is first is it's a modern and general purpose programming language. It is a object oriented programming language, and it is a component oriented programming, and it is easy to learn, I can say. And it is a structured language, structured in the sense in VB we don't have any structures, whereas in C sharp we have a structured oriented languages. Next important point is it produces efficient programs. So efficient in the sense, we can write minimum line of code. That is the beauty of the C sharp. That is the beauty of the C sharp. So next is it is a compiled on variety of computer platforms. So for example, this now it is we are running in the our desktop applications in the local machines. Even we can run the C sharp application on the over the web. So that is the beauty. Whereas in C we have a drawback. We cannot run C++ languages on the web. So the C sharp we can run in the desktop applications, web applications, service application. That is the beauty of the C sharp. The third is it is a part of .NET framework. In last class we discussed this thing. So now the next in the currently the C sharp it's a 7.7.0 version. So the current running C sharp version is 7.0 version. So this is the new features introduced in 7.0 version. One is tulips with the type of and literals. The second is record type. We have so many data types in C sharp. In C sharp 7.0, the new data type, that is a record data type, is introduced. The third is minimize out, third feature. Third is non null able to reference type. The fifth is local method functions. Sixth is readability improvement with literals. Seventh is a pattern matching. Eighth is a return by ref. So that is the new feature introduced in 7.0. The third is throw exception from expression. See, now we are not going the in detail about the each features. So while end of our sessions, end of our C sharp classes, we are going to see the actual features of these all these things seven. So now at this stage we are new. We just started the C sharp. We cannot go the new features in C sharp now. So after we completion of the C sharp courses, we will go through the this all the new features of 7.0 all one by one. So I will go through with you code. So practically we will see what are the these 9 new features C sharp in C sharp 7 added in C sharp 7 added the new features with programming. In practical way we will go through this all the nine steps. So now at this just we need to know that what are the features are introduced in 7.0. That's it. So these are the features of C sharp. So the first quick overview of C sharp over features. One is that the modern general purpose, it is the object oriented programming. See, these are all the very important points in C sharp. So easy to learn, component oriented, and the produce efficient programming. So this point, the second point, it is a object oriented programming. In the coming sessions we are going to see the how the C sharp develop the object oriented, how object oriented programming achieve with the C sharp. So these are the quick overview of the C sharp. So now the our next second topic today is futures of the CLR in .NET framework. In last classes just we discussed about the what is CLR. So now the I can say the CLR is very important. CLR is a very important in Microsoft. If you are learning the Microsoft .NET framework, if you are learning any C sharp or VB.NET or anything, so we must to know the CLR. Without CLR, without understanding the CLR, we cannot do any programming languages, especially in Microsoft. So now we are going to see the what is the futures of CLR. I can say CLR is a heart of .NET framework. So that is the reason we should know the what are the main purpose of the CLR in micro .NET framework. So let's go to the slides of CLR nodes. Let me run. What is the CLR? See, these are the features of CLR features. Common CLR abbreviation is Common Language Runtime. The Common Language Runtime is a robust, secure, and because it including the following feature. One is automatic life management. So CLR it has the automatic life management, and second is a garbage collector. Second is garbage collector for all .NET objects. Garbage collector is very important in all. We should must learn about the how the garbage collector the perform in any .NET application. Basically I will give the small idea about the garbage collector, why we need a garbage collector. Just I will give you a small idea about that. Let me open notepad. So tomorrow I have written some small program in C sharp. Let's assume I have written, one second, let me flip to Visual Studio. Visual Studio. The idea of garbage collector I will show you with the program. So yesterday we have started the Hello World program. Let me open that. Let me quick overview about the garbage collector, how it works, what is garbage collector, how it works. Garbage collector it plays a vital role in programming languages. Yeah. See, I have opened a small program, Hello World program in console application. So the idea of garbage collector is basically, so tomorrow we have a large scale application or any .NET projects we have. So for example, we are handling in our application currently we are not handling any data types, any data types or any controls in my current project. So tomorrow we are going to develop a application which has so many data types in our application, so many variables in our application. So once we run the application, so garbage collector plays a vital role for providing the memory management. For example, see, if we are storing the value in the data types means we are providing some value, some memory space, some memory value to the data type variable. So the garbage collector, the idea of garbage collector is it will take care of that memory management thing. So once the variable is once the object or variable it is no more used, then it reclaim the memory. That is the beauty of so garbage collector. It automatically it take care of that the memory management thing. So that is the beauty of garbage collector. In the coming session videos we are going to see the how garbage collector we call in our application to reclaim the memory from the objects. So at this stage just we should know that what is garbage collector. So how garbage collector help in our C sharp language. So once again I will repeat, the garbage collector basically it will helpful for reclaiming the memory from the objects. So when we are going to create some variables and classes in our application, it takes memory from the it consumes the memory. It consumes the memory after no more use that of the particular class, particular object. So to reclaim from that memory, the garbage collector it will take care automatic memory management. So that is the beauty of that garbage collector. So CLR it will take care of that the CLR will take care. CLR it has the features of the garbage collector for all the .NET objects. So the next is let me run the, yeah, third is no stay pointer, no circle references, the self configuration dynamic tuning. So we don't need to any configure the CLR when we are installing. See, when we are installing that Visual Studio or any Visual Studio app, the automatically the CLR will be created. When we are installing that any .NET framework, inside the it has a CLR, so it will be taking care of the self configuration and all these things. So the fourth important it is exception handling, error handling as the first class the concept, the dynamic improved in the error reporting. So when we will see the how the exception we can handle in our application, how to raise the errors and how to handle the errors we will see. So in coming session, so these all the things the CLR will take care. Third, the next important point is Windows language CEH integration, and the next important is several compilation needed. Yeah, one more point. Yesterday, this point I was discussed. See, when we are working on multiple languages, like in I have application I'm working on VB.NET. I have application. I have another application that is working on C sharp. So to communicate two languages smoothly, we need a CLR. With the help of CLR, we can communicate these two languages. So compilation, CLR basically CLR it will compile the two languages. All the Microsoft, all the languages it will compile through the CLR. Yeah. The next is lack of interpret the code, the compile and the install of runtime. The code correctness and type safety variable, verifiable IL that guaranteed type safety, and no unsafe cache, no unutilization variable, no out of band array indexing, evidence based security, code security, used based security, extendable permission. So these are the features of CLR. So CLR it is the heart of .NET framework. So whatever we are running the all the languages, with the help of CLR we can do all these things. That is the beauty of the CLR. We should know the how, what are the features of CLR. So this is the end of the second session today. That is second point today. That is the features of .NET CLR in .NET framework. So next, very important, we are going to see the C sharp data types. It is very important topic, C sharp data types. So let me run the slide. In C sharp, we have mainly three data types in C sharp. One is value type, second is reference type, third is pointer types. These are the three very important data types in C sharp. So when we declare a variable, we have that tell the compiler about the what type of the data variable can be held, which data can be held belongs to. Basically, the idea what exactly the data type is. So if we are performing the any type of the data, we should store in some variable. Let me flip to the Visual Studio and show. Let me go to the Visual Studio and explain the about the data types. See, basically, I want to perform any program. For example, I am performing arithmetic small program that is adding two numbers. So I'm writing a small program about adding two numbers. So for to perform that add operation, I should need to read the two values. One is, for example, I'm doing the addition of, let me write it down. So I'm doing addition. I am doing addition of two values. One is a equal to 10 and second is b equal to 20. So I want to do the arithmetic operation. I want to do the addition of these two variables. So I want to do the arithmetic operations. So I need to store this to a value and b value. For that I need a data types. So basically the idea of data type is it is a variable. It has basically it has a three types as I mentioned earlier: value type, value type, reference type, and pointer type. So now we are going to see the what is the value types and value types. What are the today we are going to see the what is value types. So now the basic idea of the data type is data type. Basically it will help in the programming to store the values in a variable, to store the to perform any operation of the programming. For example, let me explain with example. So I am doing addition of two variable. To store for to do the addition, I needed two values. To perform the any addition operation, at least I needed two values. One is value a and value b. So to perform a plus b, I need to store these two values. In our programming, we are going to store the values in some data type. So that data types it will helpful for to store the values, to store the any values. Like for example, user gives some input values, I can store in some data types. So for that the reason we use the data types, that we use the data types in our programming. So now I'm going to write a small program about the how to clear a data types, how to create a data types in our program, and how to perform that how to write a program by using the data type variables. For that, let me create int is a data type. I am going to create int a. As well I am initializing some value to int a. Int b, I am going to initialize some value to b. So now I'm going to perform some arithmetic operation, and I have one more variable that is c. It calculate a plus b. I'm going to store that a plus b values in c variable, and I'm going to display that arithmetic operation value. Console dot write, basically console dot write line, it will show in that console window the output. I'm going to display that value console. In C sharp, the every statement must be, we should have a semicolon in C sharp. Console dot read line. Let me run the program. See, here is my sample program for addition of two numbers. Integer a, it hold the value of 10. Integer b, it hold the value of 20. Integer c, it hold that a plus b value in integer c. And after that I'm printing that integer c value. What are that arithmetic operation done, that value, that variable I am printing out. And this is my program and this is output. So basically, what I'm going to explain you is, so this is a data type, integer data type, which hold the value of 10. This is the integer data type. Variable name is b, and it has the value of b. It has a value of 20, and it is integer data type. It The variable name is c, and it performing that a plus b operation. I am storing that integer c variable. So this is the idea of what is data type and what is a variable. So this is data type and this is a variable name, and we are initializing that value to this variable integer a. Here I am declaring a variable integer a, and after that I am initializing a variable to a. Here the same case, here the declare that integer b, and after that I initialize that value to the b, variable b. And after that here I created that integer value c with data integer data type is integer, and c data type is integer. This c variable I am storing and performing a plus b operation, and after the performing a plus b, and that value will be stored in c variable. After that I am printing that value. So this is how we are going to use the data types in our programming. Basically the data types are going to help in our programming to store the values, to perform some operations, to do the programming. So that is the idea of data types and variables. So in C sharp, as I discussed earlier, we have mainly three data types. One is variable types, second is reference type, and third is we have pointer type in C sharp. Let me run this thing. See, we have these all the value types. Let me zoom the screen. So boolean is a data type. It represents boolean values. The range, what are the values are there for boolean is true or false. Let me flip to the Visual Studio. Let me show you the boolean variable type. Yeah, let me stop the application. This is boolean bool. It has a, I am declaring the boolean variable b, and b variable it has, I can initialize two values. One is true and b equal to false. these all the two ranges are available for B. One is we are declaring the boolean value, and after that we can declare the two values to the B. We can initialize one is true or false. The same thing, byte is a data type. It has 8-bit unsigned integer. So in byte we can store the integer value. The range of integer value is 0 to 255. The same thing, character is a data type. So basically we can store one single digit value. It has the represent 16-bit unit code. So we can store the single character values in char. And the next data type is decimal. Decimal, it's a data type. We can store 128-bit precise decimal values. This is the range of the decimal. Decimal values we can store in decimal data type. Double, it's another data type. We can store 64-bit double precision the float point type, and these are the ranges of that double. Whereas float is a data type. We can store the float values 32-bit single precision to the float point type. And third is integer. Just now we have seen the integer. We can store the these are the range values: -2 -1 4 7 4 8 3 6 4 648. It will start, see here, minus negative value to positive value. These are the ranges for the integer. I mean to say that these we can store the this kind of values in this kind of range in integer type. So that is long. Another, it is very bigger than integer. We can store the long values. For example, I have in our application I have so many millions of records. So to store that records we can use millions of records are there. For particular customer ID he has a millions of some millions ID. So that value I can store in long integer. Another important is yes byte. It has a 8 bytes in integer. It has -128 to 120 127. This is the range type. The short 16-bit signed integer type, and these are the -32,768 to 32,767. These are the range for short. And in uint we can store the positive value unsigned integer values and unsigned integer type, and u long as well unsigned integer values. U short, again it's a 16-bit. It will start the range from 0 to 65,535. These all the ranges are there. So I mean to say these all data types are available in C sharp. These all value type data types are there in C sharp. One is, let me go through the all these things. Let me go through once again. One is boolean type, byte, character, decimal, double, float, int, long, s byte, short, unint, u long, u short. These all the data types are available in C sharp. So basically the idea about these all the ranges are there. These all the ranges. So basically the idea of data types and data type is based on our requirement. For example, I need to store some value of integer, so value of some numeric, so I can go for integer. For example, I want to store the only the trues and false, then I can go for the boolean data types. I want to store some decimal value, some example 10.94, so I can go for these decimal data type. If I want to store some double value, so I can go for double data types. So these data types are helpful for to store the values of to store the values in a particular format. So I cannot store the value of integer in I cannot store the value of string values in integer. For example, I have a welcome. One second, let me flip to the Visual Studio. Let me comment out this thing. I have integer a variable. I cannot store integer value, the string value. It raises a compile time exception. So the integer data types I can store only the integer value with predefined with this range. I cannot overlap. I cannot go beyond this range values. If I can go the beyond this range value, again it might raise a exception. So that is the idea of data types and variables. So based on the range, first of all is we need to compiler will check the boolean means what are the ranges for this. It accept only true or false. Boolean data types, it cannot accept any numeric values or any string values. The same cases for character it will accept only single character. It cannot accept the any integer value. As well it cannot accept the any boolean values like true or false. So based on the idea of the data types and variable data types is, so based on our requirement, based on that our values, we need to create the data types in our programming. So for example, in my arithmetic operation, I have taken that integer values, that is perfectly it is working. So based on our requirement, based on that what values we are going to store, so that kind of data types we need to declare in our programming, and we can use that, excuse me, that variables I can use in my programming. So that is the idea. So these all the data types are there: boolean, byte, character, decimal, float, so long, short, integer. So this is the value type of data types. Again we have two more data types. One is a reference data type, third is pointer data type. So the next coming up sessions we are going to see the what are the reference type and what are the pointer types data type in C sharp. So one more important point, so I want to see the integer range value through the code. For that I have a program, I have a code line, so I will show you the code line. With this code line we can see the ranges of integer. See, I through program I can know the size of integer, I can know the size of boolean. Let me call this thing. See, here is there the size of integer is 4, the size of boolean is 1, and the size of decimal is 16. So that is range is different and size is different. So let me go to the slide. The range is different and size is different. Range is different and size is different. And one more point, these are the default values. Let me run. The range is different and size is different. That is the memory size and the default value. For example, by default the boolean it will take the false. If I'm not declared any true or false to that variable, it will by default it acts as a false. And byte it is 0, and same these are the default values. These are the default values. So by default it has a value 0 in these values, and boolean it is false. So these all the things are there, value types, and the coming up sessions we are going to see the other data types like reference type and pointer type. So summarizing all the today's session, so today what we have discussed, let me go through the today's session. So today what we have learned is, one is the features of C sharp. We have gone through the features of C sharp. We have gone through the features of CLR in .NET framework. Then that is, and third is C sharp data types. So, and as well we have seen that some sample program of additional, how to write the add addition program, addition of two integer values in C sharp. Today we have covered these three four topics. So we continue the on the topic of data types tomorrow. For thank you all. Do you have any questions, Salman? Okay,
No, I don't.
thank you for watching. Thanks for your time.